Bob, are you getting
Oh,
responses regarding the attendance?
yes, I am now. I'm getting, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have 5 at least. So we have a quorum. There we go. We've got, yep, they're all coming in.
I think I'm going to get rid of this nature photography background. It was for a
Oh, I like it.
we had a session with Friends of the Parks, and I wanted to show them.
Yeah, that you were park friendly.
Like, this is one of the pictures our kids took.
I see Alderman Taylor's.
Bob, it's 1 p.m. I'm going to start the meeting.
Okay.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the October 12th regular meeting of the Community Development Commission of Chicago. I am Gwendolyn Hatton Butler, Chair of the CDC and the host of today's virtual meeting. On September 17th, Governor Pritzker renewed his executive order proclamation that all counties in the state of Illinois are in a disaster area. Section 7 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act allows the CDC, along with other city boards and commissions, to host virtual meetings during this COVID-19 public health emergency, provided that certain conditions are met. One of those conditions is that the chair of this commission determines that an in-person meeting on the scheduled meeting date would not be practical or prudent. To ensure that today's virtual meeting meets all conditions of the Open Meetings Act, I am hereby making the determination pursuant to Section 7E2 of the Act that due to the COVID-19 public health emergency, an in-person meeting would not have been practical or prudent today. Therefore, in accordance with the Commission's emergency rules, this meeting is being held virtually on Zoom and can be viewed live via the Commission's website. A court reporter is present today to record the proceedings. Commissioners, you have all been designated as panelists, which means that you will be able to control your microphone. Please remember to place your microphone on mute unless you need to speak. If you want to be recognized by the chair, please activate the raise your hand feature and you will be called in order. The agenda for today's meeting was posted on October 7th, both online at the CDC's website and physically in City Hall. Before I begin the meeting with the roll call, I would like to introduce 3 new commissioners to their first meeting of the CDC. Each new member was appointed by Mayor Lightfoot and has been confirmed by the City Council. I will give a short introduction of our 3 new commissioners. Grace Chan McKibben has decades of community development experience in Chicago, having worked in leadership roles in government, for-profit, and nonprofit community development organizations. She is currently the executive director of the Coalition for a Better for a Better Chinese American Community, where she leads policy strategy to make the greater Chinatown area a safer, healthy, and equitable community. Grace is a graduate of the University of Chicago, where she received both bachelor's and master's degrees in linguistics. She also has an MBA from the Keller School of Management. Welcome, Commissioner. Jacqueline Gomez is an experienced leader in business and workforce development strategies. She currently serves as the executive director of HACIA, the Hispanic American Construction Industry Association, where she has advocated for equitable participation and inclusive procurement practices since 2007. Jackie has provided technical assistance and business development training to over 1,000 small businesses. Jackie holds a finance degree from the University of Illinois and a master's in business administration from National Louis University. Welcome, Commissioner. Yvette Trevino is the executive director of the Little Village Chamber of Commerce, which represents over 500 businesses in the Little Village corridor. The corridor generates over 900 million in economic activity annually. Over 80,000 area residents are served by this economic activity and cultural identity. Yvette has also worked as director of the Cook County COVID-19 Recovery Small Business Assistance Program at the Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, which provided grants and technical assistance to small businesses. Yvette received a bachelor's degree in business management with a minor in public policy. Welcome, Commissioner. I welcome all three of you to the Community Development Commission. Glad to have you. And now I will begin the meeting with a call of the roll. Commissioners, when your name is called, please turn your microphone on, respond by saying present, and please also indicate that you can hear me okay. Vice Chair Newsom.
Present, and I can hear you okay.
Commissioner Brooks. Commissioner Buford.
We will move on.
Okay.
This does require a recommendation. So do I have a motion to approve?
No, I'm sorry, someone's on our line.
So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ted, can you tell me what's going on with the meeting?
I think Rob Buford is in two meetings. He unmuted himself by mistake.
Okay.
How is that?
Okay, all right. If there's someone on the second meeting, if you could keep your phone on mute, that would be great. I can see Commissioner Buford, and so he's in the meeting.
I sent out an email.
All right.
And I would just
Commissioner
like to
Buford, if you could
He keeps
mute
unmuting
your
the
line.
wrong device. Mr. Buford, if you can please stay muted on this one.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Commissioner Cepeda. Commissioner Chan McKibben.
I'm here and I can hear you fine. Thank you.
Commissioner Cox. Commissioner Curtis.
Present, and I can hear you fine.
Commissioner Davis.
I'm here and I can hear you fine.
Commissioner Gomez.
Here, and I can hear you fine as well.
Commissioner Griggs. Commissioner Rhodes. Commissioner Thomas.
I'm here and I can hear you.
Commissioner Trevino.
Present, and I can hear you loud and clear.
Commissioner Wheat.
Present, and I can hear you.
And Chairman Butler's in the meeting. We have a quorum. And for the new commissioners, quorum is 5 members, but we love to see all members of the commission attend the meeting. The first item on our agenda requests approval of the minutes from our previous meeting held on September 14th. The commissioners have had an opportunity to review the minutes And if there are no corrections, I am looking for a motion to approve. Do I have a motion?
So move, Commissioner Latasha Thomas.
So moved by Commissioner Thomas. Do I have a second?
Second, Curtis.
Seconded by Commissioner Curtis. In accordance with the Open Meetings Act, all votes are to be conducted by roll call so that each member's vote on each issue can be identified and recorded. And I'm going to ask that the 3 new commissioners abstain from the approval of the minutes, as well as I will abstain from the approval of the minutes as I was not present. Vice Chair Newsom.
What you did last year, Hugh.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks. Commissioner Buford.
Yes.
Commissioner Cepeda. Commissioner Chan McKibben.
Abstain?
Commissioner Cox. Commissioner Curtis.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
I'll abstain. I wasn't present.
Commissioner Gomez.
Abstain.
Commissioner Griggs. Commissioner Rhodes. Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Commissioner Trevino.
You told me to abstain.
Okay, just you have to verbalize it for purposes of the Open Meetings Act. Thank you. Commissioner Wheat
Yes.
and Chairman Butler abstains. Bob, do we have approval, given the abstentions and the absences? Bob, if we can circle back to this point, because I believe we have a quorum. The public was given an opportunity to provide written comments up to 24 hours prior to the start of this meeting through the CDC email address, cdc@cityofchicago.org. There were no written comments in the CDC mailbox for today's meeting. The CDC's emergency rules require that any member of the public wishing to comment on an agenda item could do so by registering in advance at the CDC's mailbox up to 24 hours before the start of today's meeting. No members of the public signed up to speak at this meeting. So for the first item of new business, the Department of Housing is requesting authority to advertise its intention to enter into a negotiated sale agreement with 63rd Maryland LLC or a related entity for city-owned property located at 835 through 861 East 63rd Street and 6301 through 6325 South Maryland Avenue in the Woodlawn Redevelopment Project area. Anna Booth will present the staff report on behalf of the Department of Housing. Anna, you may begin when ready.
Good afternoon. Can you tell me if you can see my screen?
Yes, we can hear
Okay,
you
cool.
and see your screen.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chairman Butler and members of the commission. For the record, my name is Anna Booth from the Department of Housing. Also on the call today are members of the development team from DL3 Realty. We have managing partner Leon Walker and director of partnerships and residential investment, Tanya Kadakia. And from the Michaels organization, we have regional vice president Greg Olson. The proposed transaction before you request authority to advertise the Department of Housing's intention to enter into a negotiated sale with 63rd Maryland LLC or a related entity for the disposition of the property located at 835 to 61 East 63rd Street, 6301 to 25 South Maryland Avenue in the Woodlawn Redevelopment Project area. to request alternative proposals and to approve the sale of the property to 63rd Maryland LLC or related entity if no responsive alternative proposals are received, and request authority for the Department of Housing to negotiate a redevelopment agreement with 63rd Maryland LLC or related entity for redevelopment of the property, and to recommend to the City Council of the City of Chicago the designation of 63rd Maryland LLC or related entity as developer if no responsive alternative proposals are received. So this development is known as Park Station, and it will be located in the Woodlawn community area. Woodlawn is 7 miles southeast of the Loop and is bound by Lake Michigan to the east, 60th Street to the north, Dr. Martin Luther King Drive to the west, and 67th Street to the south. This is a transit-served location with the number 63 CTA bus running east-west and steps away from the proposed site. The number 4 Cottage Grove bus runs north-south and is 1 block west of the site. The CTA elevated green line terminates at 63rd and Cottage Grove, and a Metro Rail station is located at 63rd and Dorchester, which is 1 mile east of the site. Park Station is to be located on the southeast corner of 63rd Street and Maryland Avenue, and will be the new construction of a 5-story elevator, mixed income, mixed use rental building that will house 58 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units, tenant amenity spaces, small commercial that will front 63rd Street, and 40 off-street parking spots. 2 of the 1-bedroom apartments will be live-work loft-style units located on the 1st floor, as will bike storage, leasing office, and business center. Other building amenities will include tenant community space on the 1st floor, a 5th floor roof terrace for tenant use, and tenant storage spaces located on each residential floor. Commercial space of approximately 3,500 square feet will be located on the 1st floor and will be divided into 2 or 3 units and focus on local entrepreneurs so as to attract foot traffic to 63rd Street, which is a main thoroughfare in Woodlawn. The building will be constructed utilizing fiber cement panels, brick, face brick and cast stones, metal siding and canopy, aluminum glass storefront systems, and high-pressure laminates. Orientation and massing will bring the proposed building edges up to 63rd Street and Maryland Street frontages, and will provide large, transparent storefront windows along the ground floor, creating an active building wall adjacent to rights-of-way at the intersections with a setback at 63rd and Maryland to allow for a more generous sidewalk. The main entry will be located on Maryland Avenue, and it's the yellow box that you see here on this slide. Environmental features will incorporate energy efficient appliances and lighting, working landscapes, tree planting, indoor water use reduction, and 80% waste diversion. The proposed Park Station will be one of the first new multifamily buildings to satisfy the Woodlawn Housing Preservation Ordinance, which was implemented in 2020, and whose goals are to protect existing residents from displacement, create new rental and for sale housing opportunities that are affordable to households at a range of income levels, promote housing options to support inclusive and equitable income diversity in the Woodlawn area, ensure the existing housing stock offers good quality housing for residents, and support economic development opportunities. Under this ordinance, on 25% of city-owned land, 30% of units in each project must be affordable to households at the 30 to 50% area median income levels. Park Station will provide 9 units at 30% and 9 units at 50%. 23 of the units will be provided to households at 60% of the area median income, and the remaining 17 will rent to market rate households. Affordability periods will run for a minimum of 30 years. There will be a total of 21 bedroom units at approximately 670 square feet, 27 two-bedroom units at approximately 995 square feet, 8 three-bedroom units at approximately 1,190 square feet, and the 2 one-bedroom live-work loft-style units at approximately 1,000 square feet. The units will contain energy-efficient appliances and lighting, in-unit washers and dryers, vinyl plank flooring, and ceramic tile in the bathrooms. As you can see on this slide, as outlined, the development team has had numerous and ongoing community engagement and outreach efforts and have met with the Alderwoman in her office on several occasions. As a result of active engagement and input, the scope of the project changed to provide an increased number of larger units, which addresses the community's needs. The original unit count was for 70 units, and it was going to be comprised of studios, 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. The proposal now calls for 58 units. It eliminates the studios altogether. It provides less one bedroom apartments and adds 8 3-bedroom units to this transaction. The development team is a joint venture between DL3 Realty and the Michaels Organization. DL3 Realty is a local minority-owned real estate development firm formed over 30 years ago with a focus on revitalizing the commercial landscape of the far south side of Chicago. Since its inception, DL3 has become a nationally recognized full-service real estate firm, completing over 212,000 square feet of retail, office, grocery store, and medical spaces. The Michaels Organization was founded in 1973 and is headquartered in Camden, New Jersey. Originally a 4-man operation whose focus was developing subsidized housing, to date, the organization is known for being a national leader of affordable housing, having developed mixed income, mixed use structures in 35 states, plus Washington, D.C. and the U.S. Virgin Island, which has provided over 55,000 units across 425 communities. The Michaels Organization has had a Chicago office and presence for 20 plus years and has worked on 12 Chicago developments, 10 of which are CHA transformation transactions. The architectural firms are Fitzgerald and Associates, a 5th generation firm founded in 1919, and Brook Architecture, an MWBE firm founded in 1995. Both firms have done work on past city transactions and are well known. As is DOH policy, the developer is currently in the process of bidding the project out to general contractors and will obtain bids from at minimum 3 general contracting firms, which will include minority-owned firms. Additionally, the development team will work with the nonprofit organization, Sunshine Enterprises. Sunshine Enterprises has formed partnerships with industry lenders, developers, business entities, neighborhood concerns, and other non-for-profit organizations to provide under-resourced entrepreneurs the proper tools and training to help grow their businesses and build their communities. So financing for this development will consist of various sources. TIF funding of $5 million will represent 16% of the financing and will be used to pay for or reimburse the developer for TIF eligible project costs. The TIF will come from area-wide increment, and it is anticipated that TIF will be funded in 4 installments of $1,250,000, with 3 being funded during construction and 1 to be funded at certificate of occupancy. The TIF payments will be bridged with the loan obtained through a financial lender, as no TIF funds will be made available at closing. In addition to TIF, the city will provide multifamily loan funds up to 6.5 million and 9% low-income housing tax credits, which will raise equity of approximately 18.6 million for the benefit of the transaction. The city will also provide Illinois Affordable Housing Tax Credits, also known as donation tax credits, which will raise equity of approximately 548,000 for the benefit of the transaction. The seller note that you see is of the 1,320,000 is the donated value of the land and is shown for donation tax credit purposes. A first mortgage of approximately 1,020,000 will also be secured. This loan will carry a market interest rate and be a non-recourse amortizing term loan that will be in effect after construction completion, at which time the interest rate will be fixed. An energy grant of $170,000 rounds out the funding sources for the Park Station transaction. So this proposed project will be located in the Woodlawn Tax Increment Financing Redevelopment Project area and will satisfy the following goals of the area's redevelopment plan: stimulate economic growth and foster rehabilitation and/or redevelopment of residential, commercial, and institutional uses, revitalize 63rd Street as a residential district with neighborhood-oriented retail and service uses in conjunction with new residential development, support the existing residential community through rehabilitation and renovation opportunities, enhance the sense of a neighborhood identity in the Woodlawn redevelopment project area with streetscaping and urban design projects. The implementation strategy for achieving the plan's goals envisions the sale of city land for mixed-use development. The proposed project also conforms to the plan's land use map, which calls for mixed-use residential, commercial, and/or institutional uses at the subject site. The Department of Housing has thoroughly reviewed the proposed project, the need for public assistance, its public benefits, and the project's conformance with the redevelopment area plan. And the Department of Housing recommends that the CDC approve the sale of 835 to 61 East 63rd Street, 6301 to 25 South Maryland Avenue to 63rd Maryland LLC or related entity for the development of the Park Station transaction, which will consist of new construction of a 5-story elevator building that will house 58 mixed income 1 to 3 bedroom units, tenant amenity spaces, small commercial, and 40 off-street parking spaces, and recommends the designation of 63rd Maryland LLC or a related entity as developer. Once the proposed Park Station has passed all committee meetings, we will look to close this transaction in the first quarter of 2022, so construction may begin immediately thereafter. It is anticipated construction will be complete by the second quarter of 2023. Alderwoman Taylor is supportive of the transaction and provided support letters. And additionally, as mentioned, we do have members on the development team on the call ready to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Anna, would you reintroduce the members of the development teams?
Sure. We have Managing Partner Leon Walker from DL3 Realty, as well as Tanya Kadakia from DL3 Realty, who is the Director of Partnerships and Residential Investment. And then we have from the Michaels Organization, Regional Vice President Greg Olson.
Thank you, Anna, for that comprehensive report.
Thank you.
We're privileged to have Alderwoman Jeanette Taylor, the 20th Ward, with us this afternoon. Alderwoman Taylor, would you like to make a statement?
Of course, thank you, Commissioner. Good afternoon. I had to check the time. I just want to say that I'm excited to see this project come to the ward. I actually live on 64th and Maryland, so this is right up the street for me. This addresses the issue that we're having, knowing that the Obama Presidential Center will be built And this is a step in the right direction to make sure that people who were displaced are able to come back. And so this was not easy, but it was well worth it. Leon Walker is also doing a project in my ward, and I've had the pleasure of going to see the project that's in the 4th ward. And so when we talk about development being new to the community, it's always exciting because this project is what you call a balance, and it's what we need in a growing community. And so I'm excited. It's my first big project when it comes to housing. And so I want to thank the department and also DL3 and Michaels for trusting and working with me in the community on this project. And so thank you all so much. I'm looking forward to more projects in the community that make sure that everybody has an opportunity to stay in the community where development is long overdue and we're finally getting. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you so much, Alderwoman Taylor, for your comments and for joining us this afternoon. It's much appreciated. As Anna mentioned, we have 3 members of the development team here representing DL3 Realty and the Michaels Company. And we'd love to have the 3 of you help answer questions from the commissioners. So at this point, I will ask commissioners, if you have questions, please raise your hand. Use the raise your hand feature and I will call you in order. Commissioner Newsom, Vice Chair Newsom.
Good afternoon to the commission and to all who are on the call. Let me just say that this, in my mind, was an excellent project to be presented as one of the first out the door, so to say, under the new ordinance. I think it was very well done. I have a few questions that I'd like to direct to the members of the team, but also to Anna. I believe, Anna, you already responded to my initial question, which had to do with the reduction in the number of units. And you did explain why it went from 70 to 58.
Yes.
Okay. The second question with regard to the original project that was presented, the original project had all of the retail frontage on 63rd Street, I believe.
That is
And
correct.
so I am questioning now under the new proposed design, I see open space on the Maryland side. Is this commercial or is this amenity space?
And so this is Anna Booth, for the record, this is Anna Booth from the Department of Housing. What you see is the live workspaces on the Maryland side.
Okay.
So can you see my cursor? Okay, so this is the main entry for residential. As you come back to the left, these are the live work lots that I spoke about. And then as you continue to the corner of Maryland and turn, these will be the commercial spaces that I talked about that will be subdivided into 2 or 3 spaces. And
Okay.
so it has tenant A, which will turn the corner, tenant B, and tenant C.
Okay, so I guess my question is still, the live workspace, is that visible to the street traffic? Or am I to assume that there will always be some kind of covering or art displayed or something in that area, and that is why it is glass?
That is correct. It has to have the security features because it is live work. And so whoever is working there will be living there. So there will be secure glass there on that main floor because they are located on the 1st floor.
And they will be displaying their artwork in this window space.
That is the
correct?
goal. That is correct.
All right, thank you. One other question that I had was, and I think maybe this might be directed to the developers, with regard to the commercial space. The object is to make it available to local entrepreneurs. A lot of times the local entrepreneurs are not aware of what some of the build out costs will be when they're undertaking these ventures. So my question to the developer is, will there be any provision or assistance provided to these new entrepreneurs with regard to build out of that commercial space? Or are they just being given a vanilla box, more or less?
Leon, do you want to take it?
Okay, first of all, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
This is Leon Walker, managing partner, Deal3 Realty. So pleased to be a part of this development team and address this commission. Want to thank Alderman Taylor for her comments. She's been a great, advocate for the community, and this project really exemplifies, how to balance the approach. And so in everything that we've done here, I mean, we got a balanced development team with, a majority minority development partnership, balanced architectural team. We are focused on an MDE general contractor or team led by one. So we are just the ethos of how we approach this development is one that will be sensitive to the community and will be welcoming and will be supportive of the community, in particular its entrepreneurs. What's so important about these developments is that we do more than just look at the four walls, but how does it impact the community and the ripple effect we want to see happen. So yes, to the short answer to your question is we are looking at attractive rents for those spaces. It is spec'd as white box right now, but there are various programs, and we're actually open to providing some technical assistance to access those programs from the city for emerging entrepreneurs. In addition to that, our work with Sunshine Enterprises does a lot in terms of bringing entrepreneurs to scale. Many of them, that's the purpose of Live, Work, Loft that you referenced earlier, is you've got to be able to move from a point where you're living in your apartment and working a home-based business. The Live, Work, Loft is the next step out of that, where you actually have a space that's commercial, that's front customer facing to the street. And then from there, you can move into, dedicated commercial space. So, this building, this project, our team is about balance, is about bringing up those who want to stay and be engaged in Woodlawn. And we're definitely looking to support local entrepreneurs as they pursue this space.
Thank you. I believe you answered my question.
Okay, thank you.
I think Greg Olson knows where I may be coming from with that question.
Yeah, Commissioner Newsom, appreciate the question. Greg Olson, Regional Vice President with Michael's Development Company. A couple things we're trying to do with those three commercial spaces are, one is lease them at a very reasonable rate. So we've got them underwritten at $10 a foot right now with 50% vacancy. So we've got some flexibility there. We try to build out the space as much as we can during construction so that people don't have a huge build out cost. And then also we've got a budget of about $135,000 right now to assist tenants with their build out so that we can provide some seed capital as well.
Thank you.
Commissioner Gomez.
Thank you. I have just a question about I heard the Alderwoman speak to people being displaced potentially with the OPC coming into the neighborhood. And so it made me think about what, if any, initiatives or programming are being done to help with workforce to allow folks to continue or to go into a growing career trajectory. And I see that the construction period is just over a year. And I wonder if there's some opportunity to provide maybe workforce training, if any, or if there's any partnerships. I know Sunshine does some of that, but I don't know if it doesn't speak to it specifically on the workforce. It just talks about on the business development side, which is great. So I think it was more so, would love to hear what is being done on the workforce side. Thank you.
I can probably answer that best, unless Anna, you want to take it. But Commissioner, thank you for your question. I think
Excuse me, Mr. Olson, could you please identify yourself?
Yeah, sure. This is Greg Olson, again, Regional Vice President with Michael's Development. Commissioner Gomez, one of the things, we're out to bid right now to general contractors, and one of the things we've asked them to do in the RFP process is to commit to hiring locally. So what we'll do once the contractor's been selected is identify a plan to work with Sunshine Enterprise and 20th Ward residents to reach out to anywhere between 10 and 14 individuals and make sure that they're hired to work for a period during the project. We usually commit to a certain number of hours. So it's always a challenge, but the idea is that we'll create a project-specific plan with the contractor at the table and use a nonprofit partner to help us implement the plan, and then we'll track it as construction proceeds.
Thank you.
Commissioner Curtis, I believe you have your hand raised.
Thank you. As I look at Google Maps, the street image, looks like that there's a new project that's been completed across the street from this proposed project. It looks like a newer mixed use of some sort. Does anybody, can you tell me what this is? And is this, looks like a housing and retail development?
Leon, do you want to answer that?
So this is Alderwoman
It's
Taylor.
Woodlands. Yeah.
I'm
That is
sorry,
the
Alderwoman
POA.
Taylor. Alderwoman Taylor, please.
So that is the POA project, preservation. I can't think of POA.
Of affordable housing, preservation. of
Affordable housing, yes. And so that's theirs, that's their new development. Also, the Daily Restaurant moved across the street. So Daily is the oldest restaurant in the city of Chicago that's still open. It moved across the street. POA was a part of a redevelopment plan for some old CHA housing that ran from 62nd and 61st and Cottage to 63rd and Cottage. And so that's some of the replacement housing there. There's a UPS store there that's Black owned. There's the Red Clay Dance Station, which is also Black owned. Dailies, and I think they have one, no, it's not empty. That is the Blue Laguna. Is that what it's called? The Blue Lotus, I'm sorry, it's a yoga instruction place.
It
But it's
looks
a
like
fairly
it's a fairly large residential unit. Any idea how many units are in there?
I want to, don't quote me. There are about 30 units and they are 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms.
Thank you. Not the largest I thought it might be. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions, Commissioner Curtis?
No, that was all. Thank you.
Commissioner Chan McKibbin?
Yeah, I was wondering whether you've already thought out how the tenant applications will be managed, given that this will be a first new affordable housing facility building in that area. And we know that there's a lot of rising housing costs in Woodlawn. There's a lot of pressure for folks to get affordable housing. So I'm imagining that there'll be more demand for the units.
And this is Greg Olson, Regional Vice President with Michaels Development. So our sister company, Michaels Management Affordable, who manages about 50,000+ units nationally, will manage the property. And we just completed a lease up of a mixed income CHA project at 45th and Cottage Grove. And really what typically happens at these projects is there's more demand than there is supply. So our approach typically will be 2 to 3 months prior to construction completion. We'll create a marketing campaign and we'll work with the Alderman's office and community partners to identify neighborhood institutions that we can outreach to sort of let people know what the process is. And then usually there'll be about a 2-week period usually where we'll accept applications. And usually there's hundreds of applications that come in at that point. So we'll probably have to stop the application process at that point, work through the applications and figure out if there's additional demand and then work with those tenants.
Thank you.
Commissioner Chan McKibbin, any additional questions?
No additional questions. Thank you.
Are there further questions from the commission? Commissioner Cox? Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. It's great to see Alderman Taylor, Leon Walker, and Michael's Development Company. I did want to underscore that there was a considerable effort on the part of all the parties to locate this housing in the right place. I think it was originally not conceived for this site. It was further away from transit, but as a result of some of our equitable transit-oriented development initiatives, we really worked with this team to locate it in close proximity to a transit station, which you know is going to be going under extensive renovation. So there will be that investment. And so folks will be able to not only live in affordable range of apartment types, they will be able to access transit and not have to have a car. But I think this slide that's up on the screen is probably the most revealing, because you can see that within this 2 or 3 block area, there are multiple projects that are clustered together. The bank, which is currently still owned by the land bank, hopefully will be renovated, and the organization that was talked about, POA, has the property that's in gray, where they're doing a mixed commercial building that hopefully will be anchored by a new library. And so that, together with Friends Health, this affordable housing project, we may be seeing up to $300 million of investment clustered around this station that really has the greatest chance of having a catalytic impact. And we are thrilled that this is moving along simultaneously with the Obama Presidential Center, because this is really what is going to, I think, lift up and guarantee that Woodlawn remains a community for all people who are there, and that people continue to have more housing choices. So I'm just really, really pleased to see how the projects come together. And again, my congratulations to DL3 and the Michaels Development Company, and to the Alderman Taylor, for the project.
Thank you, Commissioner Cox. I do have one question. Can members of the development team describe the structure of your JV and identify the managing member of the JV, please?
Sure, I'll take that. I see Leon still on mute. This is Greg Olson with Michael's Development Company. DL3 is known for their commercial work. This is one of their first entrances into housing. So they approached us as one of the best in class to sort of lead the development efforts on the housing side. So our arrangement between the two of us is that Michael's is a 70% partner, DL3 is a 30% partner. That's both in fee, pre-development costs, ownership. Well, although this is a tax credit development, but on the general partner side, on the ownership side, and in any residual value. So we generally make decisions collaboratively. So, it's more like a 50-50 when it comes to voting and making decisions, but ultimately Michael's will run the property on the property management side and compliance side, and DL3 will take on the commercial leasing.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
Are there further questions from the commission?
Okay. I mean, this isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
If there are no further questions from the commission, I will call the item for a vote. And I just want to note, I'm getting a fair amount of background noise, and I'm not sure exactly where it's coming from. So if members participating in this meeting are in a semi-public space, you can mute your lines. That would be very helpful.
No, I get it, except that there's going to be, I know you don't have anybody in this state, but.
Okay, and I'm still hearing the noise, so perhaps.
It's me. I think it's me. That's
okay. All right, great. Thanks so much, Anna. Right. The resolution before us requests authority for the Department of Housing to enter into a negotiated sale agreement with 63rd Maryland LLC or a related entity for the disposition of city-owned property located at 8335 through 80, 835 through 861 East 63rd Street, and 6301 through 6325 South Maryland Avenue in the Woodlawn redevelopment project area, to request alternative proposals, and to approve the sale of the property to 63rd Maryland LLC or a related entity if no responsive alternative proposals are received, and to request authority for the Department of Housing to negotiate a redevelopment agreement with 63rd Maryland LLC or a related entity for redevelopment of the property, and to recommend to the City Council of the City of Chicago the designation of 63rd Maryland LLC or a related entity as developer if no responsive alternative proposals are received. Do I have a motion?
So move, Commissioner.
So moved by Commissioner Thomas.
Second, Commissioner Newsom.
Thank you, Commissioner Newsom. Vice Chair Newsom has seconded the motion. In accordance with the Open Meetings Act, all votes are to be conducted by roll call so that each member's vote on each issue can be identified and recorded. Vice Chair Newsom.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks. Commissioner Buford.
Yes.
Commissioner Cepeda. Commissioner Chan McKibben.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Curtis.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
Commissioner Gomez.
Yes.
Commissioner Griggs. Commissioner Rhodes. Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Commissioner Trevino.
Yes.
Commissioner Wheat. Commissioner Wheat, are you still in the meeting? And Chairwoman Butler votes yes. The motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Terrific. Thank you.
For our second item of new business, the Department of Planning and Development is requesting authority to advertise its intention to enter into a negotiated sale agreement with Chicago Jesuit, thank you, Robert, Academy for the disposition of city-owned property located at 5093 West Jackson Boulevard in the Midwest Tax Increment Financing Redevelopment Project area, to request alternative proposals and to approve the sale of the property to Chicago Jesuit Academy if no responsive alternative proposals are received. James Michaels will present the staff report on behalf of the Department of Planning and Development. James, you may begin your presentation whenever you're ready.
Good morning. My screen is visible. Good afternoon, members of the committee.
I don't see your screen.
You don't see my screen, okay. There we are. The
Now we
screen-
see you. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, Chairman Butler and members of the committee. For the record, my name is James Michaels from the Department of Planning and Development. This item is a negotiated sale for the sale of unimproved city-owned parcel at 5093 West Jackson Boulevard to Chicago Jesuit Academy. The property is in the Austin community area and is in the Midwest TIF Plan Development 1103 and Zone RT4. The appraisal price is $28,000 and the sale price is $28,000. The vacant lot dimension is 2,625 square feet, approximately, which comprises 0.0085 acres in the 3.22 acre Chicago Jesuit Academy site. Chicago Jesuit Academy is a private Catholic elementary school. Received Plan Commission approval on September 16, 2021 for the amendment to PD 1103, allowing for the addition of the boys only school with a 49,250 square foot, 3-story building to expand enrollment to include girls. The purchase of the city property provides replacement parking displaced from the construction of the new school building addition. The acquisition and assemble of the city parcel with the Chicago Jesuit Academy parcel at 5999 West Jackson Boulevard allows for the Chicago Jesuit Academy to construct a 9,952 square foot parking area at 509399 West Jackson Boulevard with 36 spots and 2 handicap spots. Chicago Jesuit Academy has obtained CDOT and Plan Commission approval for the planned development amendment addition. Chicago Jesuit Academy has secured an environmental phase 1 on the city property, and the Department of Asset and Information Services reviewed the phase 1 and concluded no additional environmental investigation is required, and there is no need for environmental cleanup. CDC action is needed for the proposed land sale of 5093 West Jackson Boulevard to the Chicago Jesuit Academy to proceed to Chicago Plan Commission and City Council introduction. We have support from the 28th Ward Alderman Jason C. Irving. This concludes my presentation for this matter. I would also like to recognize Ernest Bellamy, the department's West Region Planner that has worked on PD 1103.
Thank you, James. I don't see Alderman Irvin in the participant list, but if you're here and would like to make comments, or if someone's from his office is available on the call and would like to make comments, please let me know. I'll now open it up to the commissioner for questions. Commissioners, any questions? Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I just want to make sure that there is a support from the Alderman.
Yes, we have support from 28th Ward Alderman Jason Irving.
Is that by way of letter?
Hey, Chris, what's going on? Hi, Commissioner. For the record, my name is Ernest Bellamy, West Region Planner for the Department of Planning and Development. Alderman Irvin has been supportive of the overall redevelopment of the Chicago Jesuit Academy, which includes the city-owned parcel that is part of this redevelopment. And he has sent a letter of support for the redevelopment.
Okay, so there is a letter of support. Did I miss it in our presentation?
I did not put the letter of support in the presentation.
Commissioner Thomas, further questions?
No, thank you.
Are there additional questions from the commission? James, is there anyone here from the Chicago Jesuit Academy development team?
There is no one from the Chicago Jesuit Academy today.
All right, well, if there are no additional comments or questions, I will now call the item for a vote. The resolution before us requests the CDC's authority and approval, allowing the Department of Planning and Development to advertise its intention to enter into a negotiated sale agreement with Chicago Jesuit Academy for the disposition of city-owned property located at 5093 West Jackson Boulevard in the Midwest Tax Increment Financing Redevelopment Project area, to request alternative proposals, and to approve the sale of property to Chicago Jesuit Academy if no responsive alternative proposals are received. Do I have a motion?
So move, Commissioner Newsom.
So moved by Vice Chair Newsom. Do I have a second?
Second, Curtis.
Seconded by Commissioner Curtis. I will now call the roll. In accordance with the Open Meetings Act, all votes are to be conducted by roll call so that each member's vote on each issue can be identified and recorded. Please signify your vote on approval of the motion by saying yes, no, or abstain. Vice Chair Newsom.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks. Commissioner Buford.
Yes.
Commissioner Cepeda. Commissioner Chan McKibben,
Yes.
Commissioner Cox,
Yes.
Commissioner Curtis,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Gomez,
Yes.
Commissioner Griggs, Commissioner Rhodes, Commissioner Thomas.
With the assurances of the Department of the Alderman's support, I vote yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Trevino. Commissioner Wheat.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Trevino. Commissioner Wheat. And Chairwoman Butler votes yes. The motion passes.
Chair Butler,
would
did you
now-
hear me say yes? Commissioner Davis? I'm having some
I
connection
hear you now.
difficulty.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alrighty.
The motion
Chair.
doubly passes. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
I will now like to request a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
So moved. This is Grace Chan McKibben.
Thank you. So moved by Commissioner Chan McKibben. Do I have a second?
Second,
Second.
Commissioner Newsom.
Seconded by numerous commissioners, but we
Yes.
will attribute it to Commissioner Curtis. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
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 Although opposed to adjourning the meeting signify by saying no. The yeas have it. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Madam
much.
Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Good job.
Bye.
Thank you all.